So this is the Riley 9 gearbox I'm going to be using. This is what's called a silent third gearbox. This has been sitting for years. It was rebuilt and it was never run. It has a close ratio gear set and it's been sitting there with oil in it for a very, very long time. How long we can figure out by this is the cover that goes over there, and this was a piece of cardboard that was on top of the gearbox to keep rubbish out of it. And if we have a look at the back of that, it's got a free Octopussy James Bond film sticker inside, so that must be fairly old. The reason I've taken this apart, one, just to clean it all up and to check it's all assembled correctly and everything's nice and clean and the bearings are good, is also because, you might not be able to see it, there's a crack on this boss here. So I'm going to have to strip all this down and get this welded. I do have a TIG welder, of course, but I don't trust my welding on something like this, so I'll get a professional to do it. Probably call in a favour of one of my mates up at Weta, but they should be able to help. But as far as I can tell, the gearbox is in perfect condition. I do need to check the U-joint on the back there, but we'll have a closer look at how the gears on this actually work. So this is a 4-speed gearbox, no synchros on anything. I've gone back to my old camera for this because I can attach it to the tripod. But we can look at how the internals of this gearbox works. It's quite interesting. It's what's called a silent third gearbox. And two things you notice, this is the first and this is the second gear. These are straight cut gears. The gears that mesh with the lay shaft, which is down the bottom there, are helical cut. And the way this works is the first and second gear slides on this inside shaft independently, and this shaft also slides. So the way the gears work, we'll start at top and work back. So at the moment it's in neutral, so if I turn this, nothing happens. Fourth gear is done by leaving these where they are and sliding the inner collar forwards, and you can see the dog teeth here will engage, and that now just is a direct drive all the way through. So that's top gear, which is 1-to-1. Third gear is the same, where these middle two gears don't move, and these dog teeth here engage with this back gear. They sort of slot in like that. So that's now third. Then for second, you disengage this inside collar from the front and the back gears, and you slide this gear set forward. So that's now second. And then first is the same but backwards. So that's now in first. Reverse is in neutral, and then it's this little lever. So now that's going in reverse. One thing you might notice from this, if you think about which way around the selectors go, you'll realize because first is back, second is forward, third is back, and fourth is forwards, it means the pattern is kind of reversed. We can have a look at that next. So over here I have the gear lever. This is the top of the gearbox, so this basically goes where Octopussy went. One thing to note is the pattern. So I don't know if you can see the numbers there. First is up here, up and to the right. Second is down and to the right. Third is up and forwards, and fourth is down and back. So this is neutral. You can see there is not a lot of movement side to side there. And on the back here you can see the selector forks, and that's what engages in those gears inside the gearbox to shuffle them around. So we can see first and second, rather that's first because it's all the way back. second, back to neutral, third, and fourth. And then reverse is that little lever there. So this isn't actually the gearbox top I'm going to use, because in the Brooklyns, because you're sitting so far back and so low down, this gear lever wouldn't work. I guess it would be up above your shoulder height and too far forward to reach. So for the Brooklyns, I'm going to get a remote gear shifter, which sort of brings it back down here and has a nice short little gear lever. But that was interesting just to see how the selectors work. Even not in the gearbox, this is a very, very good motion. It's very positive. So that's not even with any gears in there, and it's very direct. So I wonder what it would be like to actually drive the car with this. It'd be interesting to know. The other thing I did, just quickly following on from yesterday, is cleaned up the steering box housing. I just sort of gave that a bit of a clean up, and I need to work out now shortening the shafts, and then I can reassemble all of that.